This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
I've got a question for you, Shaun.
Yes.
So I want to know.
And the answer is yes.
Finally. No, so when you... Because somebody criticised me the other day for the fact that I don't... Your phone rings.
Yes.
If it's no caller ID, do you answer it?
No, you know it's bad.
Yeah,
generally.
okay. I don't answer them either.
Yeah. Someone's coming for you that you owe money to.
If it's a number that you can see the number but you don't recognise it, so it's not one of your contacts,
Yes.
do you answer them?
For some reason, I have a habit of answering those numbers if they're a good, easy number. For example, I'm just going to throw something out here. For some reason, this plays on my mind. So let's say it's 0425, and then it's like a heap
Lots of
fives
fives
and
or
a
lots of
couple
fours. Yeah, okay.
That seems reasonable.
So you will answer that. So I won't answer them.
Yeah, okay.
If somebody rings but you're indisposed and they don't leave a voicemail, do you call them back?
Oh, no, my dad would 100% say that I do not call back.
Yeah. We've got somebody on the phone. Hello, mystery caller. Who's this?
This is Adrian. How are you?
Yeah. Good, Adrian.
I've had one of these experiences.
Yeah.
I just happen to be a CEO of a Waffle Footy Club, and our president and myself have been trying to call someone, our actual number one ticket holder. His name is Shaun, and he won't answer his phone.
Adrian Bromwich, how you going?
Good, thanks, Shorty. How are you?
Well, I was away for a while, yes.
Absolutely no excuse, is it, Nat?
Adrian, how many times have you tried to call this man?
Yes.
I will give him his grace because we were trying to call him. He was appointed as our number one ticket holder in late December, and I will give him grace that he might have been away on holiday.
Yeah, he still had his phone with him. Don't worry, those gambling apps were still very active, Adrian.
They're the only ones, though.
And after multiple calls from both myself and the president, we gave up and thought, I'm not sure if we made the right decision here to make this guy our number one favourite son of the footy club, and still won't return our call. So nice to talk to you, Shaun.
Good on you, bro. Well, you know what? Shane Woden lives across the road. He should have come and knocked on my door. I just would have got.
That's what it takes. They have to physically come and knock on your door because it's not.
Adrian.
Brad Shepherd's a regular Nova presenter, or he was in the past.
He has been.
You've given him nothing as well. So
send me a message.
Yeah, you're not that popular around this place at the moment, Shaun.
Hell, mate.
It's not like you don't have to pay for it, Shaun. This is an honour. They're trying to bestow an honour upon you. Why are you being so difficult about it?
Adrian, that was a great setup, Nat. Everyone at East Freo always working there at the moment, a big apology there.
They've got other things to do, Shaun, than try and ring you every day.
I know, they need to make some money at the moment because of the East Freo Council just sticking it to us.
Not to mention your fans and members, Shaun, who you're just giving nothing to right at the moment. You're supposed to be out there promoting our great club, and it'll be nice to see you around the place.
Righto. Well, I always fly the flag for the Blue and Whites. Every year I played there. I played in the premiership. Ken Judge was our coach at the time. Brom, you know all this stuff, but
yes, I do.
It was a winning culture, big time, and everybody I've spoken to since always remembers fondly how successful is one thing, but it was a real community, a great era for East Fremantle for sure.
So it's official.
And that's what we plan to bring back, Shaun. I think we've got some exciting times ahead. We're finally back into that new facility that we've got. The players are loving being home, and there's a really exciting, successful era ahead.
I mean, are the players just going, if only our number one ticket holder would come down and talk to us every now and then? Has that been a conversation with them as well?
Oh, it has. There's certainly been noted around the change rooms a few times.
It's like, we didn't realise that you appointed a ghost as the number one ticket holder. It's amazing.
No problem. I'm on the front foot. I'll be flying the flag. Get me one. I'll be at the home games.
That's good, mate. All positives from here too. We're right in the wheelhouse of getting our licence organised with the town, so that we've got great relationship going on there. So everything's positive from here on.
So you don't want Shaun slagging them off on your behalf anymore?
No. We've had enough of that. We're on friendly terms right at the moment.
I've got nothing to say then, because that was my whole thing.
Number one ticket holder, but you've been gagged. See what's happening here? Love your work, Adrian. Obviously, You were scraping the bottom of the barrel, but you're stuck with him now for at least the next season. Good luck, I guess.
No,
Come on, the
saying,
Sharkies.
Favourite son around the place, so we're welcoming him home.
Thanks, Adrian. Super stitch
Great
up.
to
Well
talk to you
done,
guys.
mate.
Catch you later. I will talk to you. Can you remember my phone, Shaun?
Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
Your number out to all the listeners to see if you'll answer their call.
What you need is, he told you the answer. You just need to get a phone number that's got a lot of the same
number,
digit.
actually.
Okay?
No, I thought mine was very prominent number.
it
You
is.
should have answered that one.
Thanks,
Great stuff,
Adrian.
guys. Nice to talk.
Cheers, good man.
How long did you work? What happened
We've been
here?
working on it for a few days.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a great stitch up. Well done.
Shep got in touch and yeah. We're like, well, let's stitch him up. And so we did.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Couple of things, Nat, to touch on this morning. Port Adelaide are considering announcing Josh Carr as the next coach in waiting to replace Ken Hinkley.
So when you say considering, they've got to announce it. The season's about to start. So
They're going to announce it in the short term. And the reason why they're going to do that is because everyone's going to keep coming at Ken Hinkley about him losing his job.
Yeah.
They, in the AFL world, and it's not just in Adelaide where they slip the boots into him whenever they can, and he's been very successful. Think about how successful he's been versus our WA
for sure.
teams.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And he's the one in the gun every single time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's Koshy, right?
That's Koshy.
Come on, Koshy, settle down.
Because they tell the world that they have these high expectations. But, when you can think of it from a business point of view, they're finishing top 4 in the league at elite sport all the time.
Yeah.
That's amazing effort. So anyway, Ken's going to be out the door. Josh Carr will be replacing him at some stage, and it'll probably be for next season. And that just takes away all the people writing the stories.
Yes, that's right. That extra noise. Yeah.
Although, do you think it's going to be? You remember when Sam Mitchell came into Hawthorn, and then the two of them were working together.
Yes, it was also the Nathan Buckley Mick Malthouse thing, wasn't it?
And it didn't work. And then,
the coach stepping back. It's all or nothing, really. You can't do that job half share it.
But Josh should just stay in his position.
Yeah.
It's just the angle that
It's
the
lady
media
in
might
waiting
take.
stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out. We saw that we were talking about Shaun Darcy yesterday, how fit and great he looked, and then reports by the end of the day he's going in for ankle surgery. He's got an infected screw in his ankle from previous operations. We've been terrible, haven't we?
That's horrendous.
Jimmy Buckets, a.k.a. Jimmy Butler, got traded in the NBA, and he's one of the great stars in the NBA, and he decided that he wanted out of Miami, and he's been refusing to play for the last couple of months. So they suspended him, and then his suspension finished, and then he refused to go to training and all this stuff again until they traded him. So he hasn't been playing for ages.
He just threw a man tanty until they traded him because he didn't want to live in Miami anymore.
Yep. So he's gone to the Golden State Warriors on a 2-year deal worth $111 million US.
Oh. That guy that won Lotto the lady that won Lotto the other day, 100 mil, and that's still not the same. Because that's Australian.
No, that's Australian.
She's won $100 million.
But she doesn't have to knock down any buzzer beaters. So
that's true.
There's less pressure.
Yeah, no, that's...
It's absolutely less pressure. And I want to finish off, and I mentioned this the other day, I am doing the Swim to Rottnest with my sons.
Yeah, so a team of 4.
We are, yep, and we're raising money for Kai Fella, the charity, which is, it's amazing how many people that have reached out to me saying how important that's been for them in their lives.
Yes,
and
it's a suicide prevention charity, and they do extraordinary work.
They certainly do, Nat. And last night, my older son got home, and he said that he was talking about it at work, and he thought it was a great idea to tell his work crew what exactly they're doing and why why we're doing it in particular. And he said it was really emotional to be able to speak about something like that when it's friends of yours and you've played football with these guys and grown up, and this is how the charity came about. Yeah, he found it really difficult to do that, and it really touched me in that moment last night. But I on that, it's happened a couple of times where people have reached out to me, in particular the Access High group, and my friend John Jones, he's really big on charities. He's one of those people, if he can help, he's there in a
philanthropic.
Yeah, big time. And I just sent him a text message, and he got back to me and he said, because he's in that community, he lives around the Adelaide, East Fremantle, Bicton area, and he was just saying he's been involved in this charity and really hit home because he's got older teenage kids, and now they're in their 20s and stuff like this, and they know the families and stuff like that. And he was very quick to make a sizable donation towards us that will go straight to Kai Fella, which is going to help with their program. So to to John and Felicity Jones. I really appreciate you and all the Access Hire team that jumped behind me in a drop of a hat. Last year when I did the Roto Swim, straight away, yeah, what can I help you with? That's the first thing they say. Not, it's like, oh, that's great, Shaun, what can we help you with?
Yeah.
Is the first thing they say. So
you return his calls, do you?
Yes. So Luke Tomset, Johnny Phipps, John Jones, I mentioned all my mate Bondi, who I love with all my heart. Thank you so much for all their support. All the guys at Access Hire, they've done an enormous job for me. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Good work.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
All right, let's talk about sport now. Did you know that East Freo will have a number one to get hold of? Well, I do too.
I'd heard a rumour. If only he answered his phone. If you don't know what we're talking about, hit up the Nathan Nat and Shaun Daily podcast. Turns out we stitched up Shaun a little bit, but that's only it was his own doing.
Absolutely holding the ball. Now let's go over to the MCGE. Right. So yesterday they made the announcement.
MCGE.
MCGE. That the LA Rams are going to play a home game at the MCG. Melbourne has beaten Sydney and Perth, who bidded for the opportunity to have an NFL game
for the next 5 years.
Season.
Too. 5 years. Yep. Proper point-scoring game.
Regular game to come down under.
This is massive. I would actually like to go and see that.
Yeah, absolutely I would.
So we don't know who the Rams are going to be playing yet.
No, we don't.
Obviously,
at this stage.
Everybody wants it to be the Kansas City Chiefs so that Travis Kelce and maybe Taylor Swift come. That's all we want, right?
The other one, which we've seen in the news lately, is the fact that Jordan Mailata is an Aussie guy. He plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. So they're suggesting that because of the Aussie link, that might be the next team. We'll wait and see how it all turns out. But the MCG, you can guarantee that will be a sellout in a heartbeat now.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be massive. Yeah. Even though the ground, obviously, it's going to be tricky because you're putting a rectangular field into a big oval. So because the dimensions of an NFL ground are set. Yep. So there's going to be a bit of setback. It's not going to be like having the crowd right up at the edge like it is in the games in the States. No, when I went and watched, the Bledisloe Cup match there, and that was amazing. Like, there was 100,000 people, everyone going berserk, and it's the same size, obviously, as an NFL team. They moved some seats in on a base level, like you do on the concert, where they have those ones around the grass, so they're able to fit more people in. But you do feel like, because I was obviously on the other side of the fence, you do feel like you're a long way from the action. Yeah, sure. Almost you'd want to be higher up to get an aerial view almost, wouldn't you? You absolutely would. Yeah. And I can guarantee when those tickets go on sale, there'll be lots of West Australians getting on planes and they'll be going over to see something like that. I can see why you would want to. I think it's brilliant. Yeah, the other thing is Melbourne seems to have won the race to have a NBA regular season game starting here next year as well. Where are they going to play that? They haven't not announced the teams that are playing, but I would think it would be something like Rod Laver Arena. Yeah, it's about the same size as RAC Arena. Yeah. Otherwise, it'd be an opportunity where they've done it before, where they try to put a court on Marvel Stadium. Yeah. Remember when they did that before? Yeah, they've done that for the UFC and things like that. Yep. So, yeah, I guess so. So, Melbourne have kicked off in a big way. And the one thing I will say about when you go to Melbourne, you go to footy matches, in particular and other sporting events, the people show up. I mean, not that they wouldn't show up. We'd sell out 60,000, no problem at all. And our stadium's unbelievable. Yeah. But, it's probably easier for, these big market sports like the NFL and the NBA to go, we're going to go to somewhere that's big, population's massive, we'll have a big You can see why they would choose that, yeah. Absolutely. Melbourne's a good town to have a long weekend in, so, It certainly is. And to finish off, we saw that Cooper Connolly was given his baggy green yesterday, his 471st Australian to play Test cricket for the Aussies. He was in Sri Lanka. His parents were there as well, which is great news, and it all went swimmingly well. Let's hear from Cooper telling us about the moment.
Yeah, I found out last night. Tony Dotterman came to my room and knocked on the door and said, "You're in." So I was pretty chuffed with that. As a kid, you dream of putting on the baggy green, and to get that moment today was unreal. Yeah, Mum was crying. Bless her. She's done a lot of things for me. So was my dad. But it's also nice to get it from Simon Kadich, who's played a lot of cricket, and my dad. Yeah, so Simon Kadich is a West Australian's done a lot of cricket work, and he's in part of the broadcast team if you're watching Channel 7. So they roped him in. Shane is Cooper's dad, and Donna is his mum, and she was visibly it's not upset's the right word. What she was just overcome with. Yeah, what a moment in time. She's very emotional about it. I mean, I will never forget. I was there when the Scorchers won that
title
Yeah.
off the back of his bat, really. And he came in as this kid that was brash and nobody really heard much of because he never got a chance to play before that. You know, he never got a chance to bat because our batting lineup was, the Scorchers batting
So
lineup
good,
was
mate.
so strong. And
Yep.
so these kids come in and we're like, oh, you know, everybody in the crowd thought, oh, Ashton Turner got run out. And we're like, oh, this is all over. And then he went, I can win this. You know, we can win this. And they did. And that when I went home and watched the replay and they kept flashing to his mum and dad in the crowd and you could just see the pride bursting out of their bodies. And, you know, he was a teenager at the time. It's so great that now he's on the stage. So 471, did you say?
Yeah, no, that's his number.
Yeah, so
471.
Gilly's 381. So there's been 90 players in the time since Gilly debuted that have played Test cricket for Australia. That's amazing.
Yeah,
isn't
that
it?
is amazing.
Yeah.
It must be an incredible moment. The baggy green cap.
Well, if you're a cricketer, that's it. That's the pinnacle that you're aspiring to your whole career. That's what you've set yourself as a kid for. It's amazing to realise that
Finally
dream.
having crazy stuff. Yeah.
Well done, Cooper. It's
Good
really
luck.
brilliant.
Good luck for him for the rest of the tour.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.